Hi, I'm Michael Chiarello, and welcome to my kitchen. As a chef, I love to make soups, and the base for all good soups are a good broth. So whether you're doing a creamy, delicate soup or a rich and hearty stew, if you want to have great flavor, you have to start with good broth. Today, I'm going to show you one of my all-time favorites, a very green broccoli soup. You're going to love it. This soup's super simple, as I say. You're just going to take some onions and some celery and a little bit of garlic. You're going to season it with some salt and pepper. I like to put some salt inside the onions. It brings the moisture out a little bit earlier. A good quality olive oil. You're going to sweat these without color for just a few minutes. And once they begin to release their flavor, you can add your chicken broth, and this is when it really begins to get good. We do 2 containers of chicken broth. One of the great things about a soup like this is you take a little time when you have some time to save some time when you don't. So you make a big batch of very green broccoli soup, it freezes, it's fantastic. When it gets brought up to a boil, into that you're going to add your broccoli. Now to save a little bit of time, I pre-steamed my broccoli. Not boiled, I steamed it to keep all the vitamins and flavor in. If you got an extra minute, you could just put it in from raw. So the broccoli goes in. And to add a little bit of flavor, some vitamins and some greenness, we're going to add some baby spinach to that. So all of these are going to boil together, and before they cook out all of their green, we're going to puree them with an immersion blender. Okay, now the trick to this soup is you just want to cook it long enough for the broccoli to get tender and the spinach just to wilt a little bit. Now I'm going to use my immersion blender, which I love, these little stick blenders. And if you don't have an immersion blender, you can just use a normal blender that you have at home. All right, that's perfect. Now to this, I add a little bit of lemon zest. I love layers of flavor, and the lemon at the very end is gonna give us that. I'm gonna give it a nice twist of pepper. One more pinch of salt. I tend to season things twice. I season the vegetables at the beginning, so it goes inside the onions and celery and garlic, and then a little bit more salt at the very end. Give it a quick puree. And it's going to release the lemon flavor, and to that I'm going to add cream. Just a little bit of cream to give it a little velvety texture on the palate. Not enough to really add a bunch of calories and fat to it. You can skip it if you like, but I like just a touch of it. I love that. You can smell the broth coming right through the fresh vegetables. And to that, we're going to put a little gremolata, which is just panko breadcrumbs, toasted pine nuts, and parsley. And I guarantee you, if you serve this to your guests, you are going to be a hero to them for a very long time. For more of my tips and recipes, go to progressobroth.com.